Welcome to the Untitled Sports Show. Last week, I, Leland Salazar, was 18-3 in my picks. That brings my season total to 38-6. That's not bad. Let's see if we can't do better in this week's picks. A lot better. Alright, our first pick will be number 1 USC versus number 5 Ohio State. No, this is not my game of the week. A lot of people think it will be. Well, I disagree. The health of Beanie Wells is a big concern. But how well Ohio State University quarterback Todd Boukman plays in this game will be vital. In 4 games against ranked teams last year, he threw 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. That's not that good. And this Trojans defense, it's much better than all the other defenses they played last year. USC is going to win this one in a blowout. Brings us to number 2, Georgia versus South Carolina. Can the old ball coach rally his offense this week? No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. He has a capable running back in Mike Davis, but I think the Dogs' defense is too strong for the suspect South Carolina front. I also see this Georgia offense, which was held out of the end zone against the Gamecocks last season, eventually hitting some really big plays and breaking open a tight game. Georgia wins. On to number 3, Oklahoma versus Washington. Jake Locker's team battled hard against a good BYU team. But the letdown and the haze from last week's in my opinion, extremely bad, uncalled for, and stupid penalty for celebrating in the end zone has really, just took all the air out of the Huskies. And it's just too tough for the Huskies to even make a show of this one. Oklahoma wins this one in another blowout. Which brings us to number 6, Missouri versus Nevada. The return of safety William Moore to the Tigers defense will be a huge boost. In addition, Nevada's stacked backfield took a big hit when Luke Lippincott was lost for the season with an ACL injury this past weekend. Nevada's defense did give Texas Tech's passing game some troubles, but the Tigers' ground game should have the answer. Missouri, or Mizzou will win big. Now let's go to number 7, LSU versus North Texas. Les Miles wants his new quarterbacks to be tested. All you need to know is that they won't be. LSU wins this one big. Number 8, Texas versus Arkansas. Personally, I'm not going to go into detail about this game because we know that Texas will win. Yes, Texas will win. I just wish this game would have been better because at the beginning of the season looked pretty good, but the way Arkansas has been playing, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a close one. Texas wins. Brings us to number 9, Auburn versus Mississippi State. Chris Todd started to get into rhythm this past weekend, and the Tigers should get a lot of yards as both runners and receivers will do well if they avoid fumbles. Key word there, if. Mississippi State's one-dimensional offense is too limited to challenge Auburn, so this really wouldn't be a good game to watch. Auburn will win. That moves us to number 10, Wisconsin versus number 21, Fresno State. This is my game of the week. Tom Brandstater is the best quarterback the Badgers will face all year. Wisconsin's road performance from 2007 doesn't bode well, as the Badgers were 2-3 on the road last year. They will need to out-hit the feisty Bulldogs, who will be riding a huge emotional burst, which is why I picked this to be my upset pick. Number 21 Fresno State will upset number 10 Wisconsin. That brings us to the 2-minute drill. We have number 11 Alabama versus Western Kentucky. Alabama wins this one. Number 12 Texas Tech versus SMU. Texas Tech wins this one. That brings us to number 13 Kansas versus number 19 South Florida. This is my second upset pick. That's right, I'm picking number 19 South Florida over number 13 Kansas. Next is number 14 East Carolina versus Tulane. East Carolina wins the game. Then is number 15 Arizona State versus UNLV. Arizona State wins. Next is number 16 Oregon versus Purdue. Oregon wins. Next is number 17 Penn State versus Syracuse. I have Penn State over Syracuse. Next is number 18 BYU versus UCLA. This one will be close, but BYU wins. After that is number 22 Utah versus Utah State. Utah wins. Then is number 23 Cal versus Maryland. Cal wins. And last is number 24 Illinois versus Louisiana Lafayette. Illinois wins. Well, those are my picks for week 3 of college football. I'm Leland Salazar. Good game, everybody.